people confuse values with social ideologies.
Yeah.
How do you, with the people that you work with, help to crystallize what they truly value versus the social contracts that they think they should just follow? What's the difference there?
Well, I always establish core values with everybody that I work with right off the bat. First of all, I identify what is your dream? What is it that you are willing to live for? And you know what your values are because they're what you're willing to die for. So for me, in my system, I say first, what is your dream? What are you willing to learn, to grow, to become, and to change for? Because if you don't have that, you don't have an attractor factor. You don't have something to pull you out of your fear or out of your habit patterns. So first, you got to have a clear dream, goal, or objective that inspires you to stay focused and to become. And then, my 4 doctors are Dr. Happiness, Dr. Diet, Dr. Quiet, and Dr. Movement. So Dr. Happiness being the chief of all the doctors, because if you're not happy about your life and who you are and what you're living for, then there's no point having values because you don't have meaning in your life. So your dream and your goals are an expression of what's meaningful to you. So the first thing you got to do is establish what's happy making for me and what am I willing to do each day to make sure I practice creating happiness in my life so that I don't forget how to do it. Then I have to have values around how much movement do I need and what type of movement do I need to at least be a healthy person. Then I have to have values around diet and what the quality of food I'm going to eat is and how I'm going to have a relationship with my body so I know what it needs instead of following diets written by somebody else, which has never worked. And you got to have values around rest and introspection, because if you don't get enough sleep, then you're making yourself a medical statistic. And if you don't have some kind of introspection time to be with yourself, in yourself, and have a relationship with yourself, then you externalize yourself into the surroundings and you identify yourself by what you're doing or not doing, or how much money you're making or not making, or what your friends think about you on Facebook or don't think about you. So when you externalize yourself, then you put yourself in the position of a child, and you have to have external validation, like a child needs its parents to say, good job, or good boy, or good girl, or I love you. So if you don't have a dream, clear values on what's happy making, and a commitment to doing that, values around food and hydration, and values around exercise and breathing and movement, and values around rest and introspection or some form of spiritual practice, then, think of a tent. It's got 4 corners. If a wind blows one of them out, then that becomes a sail that tears the rest of them out. Mm-hmm. You can't reduce a living philosophy below happiness, diet, quiet, and movement and still be a stable, centered individual. It's impossible. You, for example, can be doing things that are happy making. You can be moving your body and eating well, but not getting enough sleep, and you'll destroy yourself. No matter which way you go, if you don't have those 4 corners, and the square symbolically represents the earth plane and stability and completion, number 4 is the number of completion or wholeness, then you're just making yourself susceptible to, the winds of society, and most people in society are lost. So, if you become average, then you suffer the life of an average person.